I want to present this wonderful lesson on the style of Expressionism. There's a project that goes along with it, and I'm sure you students will really, really love it. Any project that you do, you want to try to make it as original as you can so you can have this as part of your portfolio. So let's go ahead and begin. This is on Expressionism. We're going to talk about it's an art, began around 1905. The Expressionists were called the Fauves or the wild dogs of the art world because it celebrated color in its broadest sense, raised subjective feelings above objective observations. You can always tell what the image is, but the colors can be wild and crazy. The vocabulary of the arts, which are very important, contour line, hot colors, cool colors, complementary colors, mood, pattern, visual rhythm, portrait, caricature, and neutral colors. Expressionist Franz Marc, one of my very favorite expressionists, did this wonderful picture of a horse. Why do you think that he used the colors that he did? Do you ever see any blue horses? What do you look at first when you look at this particular picture? Do you like this style? When you do a horse, you want to draw your lines and shapes, the basic shapes of the horse. As you can see on the right, it starts out as a line drawing and then it becomes what looks like a horse. When you shade it in, light comes from the top. Usually the belly is a little darker. Always notice where light is coming from. Mark also did this picture of the two deer. What shapes do you see in the snow? We usually don't see snow that looks like this. This is one of the reasons it's called expressionistic. You can tell that the animals are deer and they are shaded correctly, but the snow around them is very dark and very light and very different and doesn't look like snow. This picture is probably one of the most famous expressionistic pictures by Munch, and it's called The Scream. He's expressing his feelings about a scream in a particular picture. He uses complementary colors, orange and blue, and wavy lines, and it looks pretty scary. This picture doesn't look realistic, but it does give you a feeling about the person. When you look at this picture, what do you think this gentleman might be like? Look at his eyes. It's not realistic, but it certainly expresses feeling. Now, caricature, this is a caricature of Albert Einstein. It exaggerates his features. Um, if I could color it with red and green, I could color it any colors I wanted to because it's expressionistic. But as you can see, it's not a realistic picture. View of Toledo by El Greco. Does the city look like it is in a storm? It doesn't look like a photograph. It looks like a painting of a very dark city that has very much, it evokes feeling when you look at this picture of a storm. And that was the artist's goal. Modigliani did this wonderful picture of two people. I think that when you look at this, you really get an idea of what the people might have been like. The gentleman seems a little, to me, maybe a little bit conceited, a little bit aloof. The woman seems very, very sweet. And always look at compositions of masterworks of art. I always look at corners. August Mack wanted you to get the feeling of you're looking in on something. You're looking this, how do you feel when you look at this picture? Do you feel like you're a part of the picture? Is it welcoming or does it keep you away from it? Sort of like you're not part of this group of people. How do you feel when you look at this picture? Mac also did this picture of a house. Because of the color, it's much more warm and open. Some of the people don't even have faces, but it's a much nicer picture to look at and more positive. Egon Schiele did this landscape. Do you think it looks like a very still landscape? Do you think it's very cheerful? He uses very dark and neutral colors in this particular landscape. The woman below was done by the master expressionist Matisse. Is someone's face really this color? Have you ever heard of the word green with envy? If you were to write about this person, what you feel and what you think about this person, just looking at the picture, what would you say? The Red Room by Matisse is also very famous. Matisse is very famous for his use of patterns. How many patterns do you see in this picture of the Red Room? Now we're going to do a project and turn Audubon's Pink Flamingo expressionistic. We can take any realistic picture. This is a picture. We could also do this one, the picture of flamingos by Rousseau. And this is called folk art. It's actually a primitive. It's not very realistic at all. If you look at the foreground, the realistic parts of it, the foreground, the water is darker and gets lighter at the horizon line. The sky gets darker and gets lighter, and you see repetition in the picture. Again, he is not a realist. It's how does it make you feel, the picture. Now we're going to do the flamingo. You want to color it with white oil pastels or what your choice of color, draw the line first. Nothing is all in color, so color your flamingo pink on one side and red on the other to get the shape. You may want to put some more flamingos in your picture. These drawings of flamingos are done by Franz Marc, the Expressionist, and he would be using bright colors on these. You can pause the video anywhere you want to stop and draw. You could put your flamingo in a scene with other birds. Be sure you make him in the right size comparison to the other birds. Or you could make him very, very large, very expressionistic. You can add trees to your picture of the flamingo. You can put ripples in the water. I have my water looking pink. In Expressionism, you can have a purple dotted flamingo or a bright red one, orange and yellow, just like this. You can define the vocabulary words. Here are some questions that you can answer about this project. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I want you to enjoy art.